you a minute or two to join me. I didn't give you any warning. I'm just popping in when I can. I'm in Honolulu right now. I was going to meet with you on my fabulous veranda, but it's super, super noisy out there. They have a giant waterfall that's really, really noisy. And there's a lot of people in the pool. So here we are. So I want to talk about Mercury opposing Uranus today. I forgot to do the forecast, so I didn't talk about it this morning. I have no excuse. I just completely forgot. Um, so Mercury opposing Uranus. Hey, Eve. This is super interesting when this happens. Hey, Anne. Because we see things in a radical new way. And it can lead us to get back on track when it comes to what's good for us, or it can give us insights that get us away from what has been keeping us from playing small. So Mercury opposite to Uranus is a good thing to embrace. Because we can completely flip. These are the days when we can radically change our mind. So it's different for different people how this will show up for you. It depends on what you've already got going on. But we see things in a way that makes it impossible for us to continue with what we were doing. So it opens our mind. And that can lead us into a direction of embracing what brings us better self-fulfillment. That's what Uranus is about. Uranus is about liberation. It's about freedom. When Mercury and Uranus get together, we have ideas that can break us out of what has been restricting us from having the best experience of autonomy, of independence, of personal freedom. So we break out of a mental prison when these two get together. And the people around us might not like it. In fact, you can pretty much count on that because it is an opposition. People will resist us when we act on what is good for us if they aren't really on our side. They're not really on our team. So this is an opposition that can point out who isn't really for you, who is more for themselves, who isn't going to support you putting yourself first, who is going to hold you back when you come to new insights or epiphanies, and you may have to renegotiate or reach a new agreement. So who is it in our life that doesn't want us to change? That might be who we need who we need some amount of space from. There is a spaciousness that comes in when we're talking about Uranus. And in that spaciousness, surprises can arise. I know that so many of us are afraid of the unknown. But we have to remember that just as many good things can go right as could go wrong. Our mind, when we think about the unknown, tends to go to what could and will and probably will end up going wrong. We don't go there as fast when we have an opposition like this. There is spaciousness there for myriad possibilities to arise. We're freeing ourselves from what we thought was the case, or what we thought about someone, or what we thought about a situation. But now we get more information, and it turns everything on its head. Oh, and yes, I can talk about the Scorpio New Moon. Oh, in the 6th. All right, so it's happening in everyday life for you. Health routines, service, and not career, but work, practice. All right, so the new moon in Scorpio. And I'll talk about this more tomorrow and the next day. We are planting seeds of depth. So we're planting big seeds, like squash-sized seeds, like a pumpkin seed, big seed. And we're planting it deep. So the bigger the seed is, the deeper you want to plant it. And as these seeds come up, closer to the full moon in Taurus, we can realize how our need for depth, our need for authentic connection, for being seen, the kind of intimacy that comes from exposure, like will only happen if there's trust. As we get closer to the full moon in Taurus, we may realize that what we've drawn into our life and what we've been entertaining or investing in is shallow. It's superficial. So we are planting seeds of the deepest connection that we can handle. And as the next couple weeks go by, we get closer to the full moon in Taurus, because Taurus is about what's sensual, what's surface, what's underneath, what's beneath the surface is Scorpio. So we need to really look at who, what, is available to us to give us that kind of satisfying, real connection. For some of us, we may need to reevaluate who we're entertaining, who we are committed to. If as the days and the weeks go by, we realize that it's vapid, it's surface. So there is a growing dissatisfaction that can occur if that's the side of things that you're on. If you're sowing your big seed of satisfaction deep, and we're seeing it come up and it's bearing good fruits, then as the moon gets closer to being full in Taurus, we may find that we do have people around us who can love us the right way, who really want to be there. They're not just there out of need. They're not needy. They really want to be there. And we can share. We can show. And so we can find that if we have people that are good for us, where trust is there, we can find that we have depth and we have sensual fulfillment. And we don't have to sacrifice one or the other. So I'll talk more about this tomorrow or the next day. It's happening on the 1st. Coming up very, very soon. Let's see, 12th house. Yes, that is the collective unconscious. The personal subconscious is the 4th. The 4th, 8th, and 12th are all elements of what is emotional and sub or unconscious. Oh, hi guys, hi everybody. Oh, okay. Somebody wants to be reincarnated as my body lotion. Well, go for it. I mean, if you can choose to be anything, why not? So you have it in the 6th, that's right. So you are more and looking at things related to, are you satisfied with what you're choosing to do every day? Are the people that you're working with people that are on your side? Do you feel comfortable with how you're treating yourself? We look at improvements when things occur in the 6th house. So it's not the most complex place for this to be, but I think you're probably going to be making some new choices when it comes to starting some routines that can overhaul not just your health, but how you manage yourself. When we manage ourselves well, that means we're practicing self-discipline. So, alrighty, let's see. New moon rituals. I would plant something. I would put something into the ground. Losing control over yourself. That's opposition to your Mars. So it may be a more emotional time for you. Anytime we have the new moon in aspect to Mars, we have a great deal more passion, and we can be a lot more, we can have more trouble controlling our feelings over those few days. It can also be insufferable around the household, so be careful that the people that are closest to you aren't getting the worst of you as that's happening. Oh, and the Taurus full moon in your first house conjunct to the sun. So that is, ooh. Oh, that's going to be bringing quite a lot of epiphanies. It's right there. And in the first house of how you show up in most situations. The first house is our general armor. It's our default personality. It's the persona. So that is interesting. It looks like that's going to be bringing a lot more confidence into how you show up. All right. So guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll pop in and do the forecast in the morning, and then I'll talk about this more in depth because we also have Mars opposing Pluto, which actually probably has some political implications, social implications. And that is also something that will probably bring some explosions to the surface in relationships or work conditions, situations, where we start to realize that we are not getting out of it what it is that we thought we would, or what it is that we should be getting out of things. So this is going to bring confrontations to the surface. All right, guys, so I will see you tomorrow.